Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Before we get this review underway today, I just want to address a couple of changes that you may have noticed across my YouTube and other social channels. First and foremost, when a new video appears in your subscriptions inbox or a new post appears in your Facebook newsfeed, you will now see a small icon of Kylo Ren. For the past couple of years, Darth Maul has been sort of the mascot for the Sith Lord 229 channel, but going forward, obviously in anticipation for The Force Awakens, Kylo Ren will now appear as my channel icon. This also goes for my main themes throughout my social channels, so now in the place of the Emperor on my banner and all that sort of stuff, you will now see Kylo Ren, as well as a brand new colour scheme and a new logo design. So some really cool changes happening on the channel itself. Now with regards to my YouTube videos, when a new video appears in your subscriptions inbox, you will now see a brand new video thumbnail. These have been heavily influenced by the design of the old vintage Topps trading cards that were released many years ago, and now in place of a product image you will now see a screenshot from the video that you're about to watch. So new subscribers will get a bit of a feel for what they're about to watch, and old viewers will obviously come to recognise the videos themselves. So lots of changes happening across the channel. I hope they're all for the better. And we're going to take a look at some really cool items across the course of my next few videos. I know you're all wanting to see reviews on The Force Awakens figures, and we will get to those very soon. Got a ton to give you a look at. But before we get to those, I want to give you a look at some very special action figures. Now, these action figures are not produced by Hasbro. They're actually made by Lego. Now I know what you're thinking, action figures by Lego, don't you mean minifigures? Well, these aren't just your general run-of-the-mill Lego minifigures. These are full-scale, buildable, posable, articulated action figures. And if any of you guys are familiar with the Lego Bionicle theme, then you'll already have a vague understanding of how these figures are designed, how they're put together, and the system in which they function. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to the first buildable figure that we're going to take a look at today, and it is of course none other than this guy, the popular and fan favourite Clone Commander Cody. Now I did ask you guys over on my Facebook page which of these figures you wanted to see first, and Cody won by a landslide. So Commander Cody will be the first figure that we take a look at, and we'll of course take a look at the rest of the series over the course of my next few reviews. So this is of course the box that Commander Cody comes in. This set itself does retail at the moment for $19.99, and it consists of 82 pieces. Now that does seem a little bit like the price per brick ratio is off, but once you consider the finished product, you know, I think these are really going on size rather than price per piece, because these things are absolutely massive. Each figure, with the exception of a couple of characters, stands at around 9 inches tall, so these really are, you know, full-scale posable action figures, and they're really cool. As I said, if you're familiar with the Lego Bionicle line, then you already know really what to expect from these figures. They are very cool, however, and as you can see on the front of the box, we do get some very cool artwork which shows the figure in action. On the reverse side of the box, we have another still image of the action figure itself, as well as some of the features that have been incorporated into the design of this one. Just along the bottom there, you'll see some of the other characters available in the range. We'll be taking a look at all of these characters very soon. Obi-Wan and Grievous will be coming up next, and then we'll take a look at Jango Fett and the father-son duo of Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. So plenty of very cool figures to look forward to. Really nice indeed. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of this review, I do want to give a big thanks and a shout out, as always, to the guys over at Norton & Co and the Lego Group, who were kind enough to supply this and the rest of the Buildable Figures series for a review. So guys, if you're watching, a huge thumbs up goes out to you, and let's get on with this very cool review. I've got to say right off the bat, I'm a huge fan of these figures. I was a little bit skeptical when I first saw the images released online. You know, I didn't think that these would be for me, but I must admit I'm very impressed with them. As I said, the sheer size of these things and just the way that they've been constructed and put together is very cool, and it definitely offers something different for your Lego Star Wars collection. So Commander Cody, obviously he's one of my favourites. I'm a huge fan of the Clone Troopers and all the Clone Commanders, and I think LEGO have done a really good job in producing this figure. Obviously he's a little bit stylized, he's put together using various Technic parts, so he also almost has a sort of a droid feel about him. He looks very robotic, but despite the stylized way in which he's been designed, LEGO have carried over some vital design elements into the figure itself that we see in the movie, which is of course Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Now, as I said, if you are familiar with the LEGO Bionicle range, then you'll already know how these figures are put together. They do primarily use LEGO Technic pieces, if I'm not mistaken, and they are very nice in the way that they are put together. What I really like about these is the fact that not only are they ultra posable, but again, some of those vital design elements from the characters seen on screen are apparent in the design. So as you can see on the back here, we do have Commander Cody's trademark jetpack, and we also have the antenna incorporated into that, which looks really nice. Now, with the head sculpts, rather than being put together using multiple different pieces, these are actual sculpted heads, and I've got to say these really do give Hasbro a run for their money. Some of them are really nice. Obviously they're a little bit stylized to reflect the LEGO theme, but the sculpts themselves are really nice, and they do capture a lot of detail seen in the films. So I'm really happy with those. Darth Vader and General Grievous have some stunning head sculpts, so I can't wait to show you those. And Luke and Obi-Wan Kenobi have some fantastic designs as well. So I'll be giving you a look at all of those in some future reviews. Now, as I said, these particular figures are put together primarily using LEGO Technic pieces, and that is more evident than ever within the weapon, which as you can see is put together using multiple pieces. And rather than the figure actually holding the weapon in the hand, these are put into place using the little red cross pegs that we've seen, and you'll see just there poking out of the side of the weapon. These plug into the hands and allow you to clip the blaster in place so it doesn't fall out and it's not too loose. And this is also a design system put into place for the lightsabers on some of the other figures. So again, I'll give you a look at some of those in future videos. As you can see, some of the painted detail on Commander Cody is very nice as well. Again, this runs into the theme that I spoke about earlier, where some of those vital design elements are apparent in the detail of the figure. So for example, on the chest we do have some carbon scoring battle damage, which looks really cool. We also have the rank badge there, which indicates that Cody is indeed a commander. And of course, throughout the figure we do have those orange markings, which indicate that Cody is the leader of the 212th Attack Battalion. So very cool in that respect. Again, these are highly posable figures, so for the most part they are put together using what I believe to be known as the character creature body system. I believe that's the correct term, I'm not 100% sure. But again, I'm familiar with it through the Bionicle range, and it is made up mostly of ball and socket joints. So again, you've got some really high levels of posability with these figures. In the head we have a ball joint which allows the figure to look all around, up, down and in all different directions. We also have ball hinges, or ball and joint sockets rather, at the shoulders, elbows and also at the wrists. There are ball and socket joints at the hips as well, and you'll see some more of that printed detail just on the leg of Cody there. There are also hinges at the knees, hinges at the ankles, and just, as I said, a high level of detail and posability in these particular figures. So, you know, despite being LEGO, and obviously it has a very definitive style, these really do look nice and really liven up any LEGO Star Wars collection. For me personally, they'll serve as really cool background characters in any LEGO display. So I'd highly recommend picking some of these up. Some are better than others, and I think definitely the helmeted figures such as Cody and Jango Fett are some of the better examples of these figures. But that's not to say that the whole series isn't very impressive, and as I said, I'll give you a look at some more of those later on down the line. But in the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed having a look at Clone Commander Cody, once again from the Buildable Figures series by LEGO. And if you want to add this guy to your collection for yourself, you can indeed do so via the link provided in the video description. So head down there to the video description and follow that link, add this one to your basket and add it to your collections. You won't regret it. It's a perfect figure. Really, really nice overall. So, once again, that's going to do it for this review on Commander Cody, which is set number 75108 from the LEGO Star Wars Buildable Figures series. I'll be back to give you a look at Commander Cody's Jedi General Obi-Wan Kenobi in my next review, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed having a look at this guy, and I'll be back very soon. So until then, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.